Hi everyone, this is Tuplex. Welcome back. As you can see here, our 4 productivity module 3s are now complete, which is great. So we can dismantle this little temporary operation. Let's pick that up. Okay, so I've been busy since the last episode. The wall is now complete. And what I did is I created additional supply stations for each individual segment. If we turn on the logistic network coverage, you can see that this wall is all on one independent robot network, as well as this one here and one here. So I've got several different supply stations set up to take materials there and to resupply them with oil for the turrets and supply packs. Now, I haven't set up the actual supply train yet, so right now I just manually put some supply packs in each one, but I can deliver oil automatically. But the rest of it still needs to be set up, so we'll get to that at some point in the future. So all the biters within the walls have been addressed. They've been taken care of. And as you can see, we have a fairly comfortable margin around the edges of the base where there are no biters. So attacks are fairly infrequent right now. Everything inside is pretty peaceful. In fact, one thing we could do right now is we could pick up all the gun turrets that I've got scattered about the base. And we can do that pretty easily with the deconstruction planner. What I'm going to do is I'm going to whitelist gun turrets. Okay, so with this setup like that, I can select the entire base and it'll only pick up any gun turrets that we've got laying around. So I'm going to do that right now. I'll start, let's see, let me turn on my robot coverage. I want to make sure that I'm only doing this in places where my robots can actually go. So I'll just start here. I'll go all the way down to the bottom. And I don't think I need to go as far as the solar panels. And all the way over there. Okay, so I've got 22 gun turrets selected. And then the construction bots will go and pick those up. Let's see, what about up here? Yeah, we can do the same here. Anything else? No, I think that about covers everything. At least everything that I can get to. You know, we could always clean these up. These as well. In fact, over here, I want to get rid of laser turrets as well. Although I don't have any storage chests there, so I'll leave that alone. I don't have any left there. Yeah, here we can pick up. Here, let me revise this. Let's do gun turrets and laser turrets and flame turrets and pipes. Both kinds of pipes. There. So now, for example, I can select all this. I do have a storage chest here, so the bots do have a place to put it. Okay. And I'm interested in picking up the extra laser turrets, especially because those will prevent power from being drawn, since we know that the laser turrets have a power drain. Oh yeah, and then over here as well. All of this we can pick up around this oil area. There we go. I'll leave all the power poles in the walls and stuff. Okay, and then they'll find a storage chest somewhere to put everything. Okay, so that's done. So like I said, the wall's finished. Oh, let me show you the supply train, because that's different. I did change the supply train. Actually, it was a good suggestion that somebody made in the comments. I don't know, probably a week ago. He said, why bother with all those gun turrets, static gun turrets, when you can just put an artillery wagon on the supply train and then just have it periodically go and stop, and everywhere it stops, it'll scan for any new biter nests in the area and take them out. That way you've only got one place where you need to load ammo. It makes it quite easy. So, and actually I've done that in some of my other bases. I just wasn't thinking about it this time, but I agree that that's probably the best way to do it. So rather than have a wagon here that holds ammo, I just put an artillery wagon in its place. The wagon itself can hold up to 99 rounds, which is actually a lot more ammunition than even the cargo wagon can hold. And so what I do with this from time to time is, like for example, we can see this forming up here. So let's send it over to supply unload 2. So it'll go and wait, and then when it gets there, if that's within range, it'll shoot it. If it's not, then we can manually target it with our targeting remote, and we can take it out that way. So in future episodes, we will develop this a little bit further, so that's all done automatically. Because as you know, Factorio is about doing things automatically. Now, another thing that I've done is I have revised the iron ore unloading station so that rather than having 4 groups of 6 chests each, I've got 6 groups of 4 chests each. Okay, so this way I can get 6 belts out of the iron instead of 4. And the reason I wanted 6 belts is because I've got 4 lines of iron, and then we had this 1 line of steel. But then I realized that we actually needed 2 steel lines. That was something that I had previously put off. I put the second steel line off until later, but actually we do need that. According to the calculator, we need to have, let's see, 75 furnaces making steel. So with 1 line, we only had 48, of course. So now we have 96. And this way, I've got 6 belts feeding 6 lines. And this one here, as you can see, this is a 6-to-6 balancer, which seems to be working well. You may recall I tried a 4-to-5 balancer before. It didn't seem to me that it was really working very well. So now I've got 6 lines coming out, 6x6 balancer, and then I've got 6 balance lines coming in. So our belt of steel now is starting to fill up. This was we weren't making enough steel to keep all of our science packs going, so the research had been going a little bit slowly, which is why I started wondering why, and then I realized that we were still missing some of our steel production. Okay, so this is all going pretty much full speed, as you can see. Okay, and so we finished our research for the rocket silo. We finished the research for the space science packs. Okay, so we can get to work on that now. Now I'm doing logistics 3, which will get us blue belts. Let's do effect transmission next. That will give us beacons, which we can talk about a little bit later. What else do we want to do? Let's do nuclear fuel reprocessing. We'll need that to set up nuclear power. We'll do coal liquefaction. This is that gives you a recipe where you can get petroleum products from oil, or from coal rather. You take coal, heavy oil, and steam, and you get more heavy oil, plus light oil, plus petroleum. So once you get this started, you can feed the heavy oil back into the inputs, right? Because you produce more than you consume. So it's a self-sustaining process. And then the excess you can crack into light oil and into petroleum if you want. Yeah, so we've got lots of upgrades that we can work on, but that'll be enough for now. So what I want to do today is get ready for launching a rocket. So I've already crafted a rocket silo, which as you can see is a rather large structure. And I think I'll put it, let's see. I'll put it right there. Okay. So the rocket silo, as you can see, will consume 4 megawatts when it's running. But I'm going to put these productivity modules in there, and that's going to make it jump up even more. All right, so if I load this with 4 productivity modules, now you can see that we'll be consuming 16.8 megawatts when it's running. The crafting speed has decreased by 60%, but I have a plus 40% productivity bonus, which is something that we talked about a little bit earlier. Okay, and I've got all of my low density structures already accumulated, so I'm going to remove those inserters. In fact, what I'll do is I'll just put active providers there, so those will get moved to storage chests. No, on the other hand, let's not do that. I'll just leave them there. That way they'll be closer. The bots won't have as far to travel. That's fine. Okay. So to launch a rocket, we need to make 100 rocket parts. And each rocket part takes 10 rocket control units, 10 low-density structures, and 10 rocket fuels. With the productivity modules, we only need to make 72 rocket parts, and we'll actually get 100 with that 40% bonus. All right, so that's why we don't have 1,000 low-density structures saved up. We've got fewer than that. Okay, and then in order to get the space science packs, if we launch the rocket with a satellite in it, we'll get 1,000 space science packs. And then we can use that for things like more weapon damage. Whoops. Later on, there'll be stuff like infinite mining productivity and things of that nature. So if you want to continue to expand your base and work on your base, you're going to need space science packs, because eventually you'll get all the research done, except for these ones that have infinite levels. But all of those require space science packs. All right, so you'll need to continue launching rockets on a regular basis if you're going to do that. This base is not really designed to do that. We're set up to launch a rocket. Okay, so how many of these did we make? 20. Okay, so I'm going to set up the production. Let's start with the rocket control units. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then 10. And these will all be rocket control units. Okay, and I'm putting a lot of these because they produce fairly slowly. All right, 30 seconds each. Okay, and these need blue circuits plus speed modules. Now, the speed modules need red and green circuits, just like the productivity modules that we're making over here. And those speed modules have a crafting time of 15, which is 1/2. So we can have one speed module machine feed 2 of these, like that. And then we'll also need some blue circuits. So actually, let me move these back by 1 tile. That way we can have the blue circuits coming down this way. All right, so each one of these will feed 2. And then we'll get our blue circuits from the belt, like that. Let's see. Okay, we'll power them thusly. Yeah. And then we can have our output there. Okay. Now let's mirror this on the other side. Oh, let's not forget that side. There we go. Actually, maybe this will be more efficient if I just use the wood. No, it won't. I definitely want the steel ones. I'll figure out where to put the power poles after. I want to do it in a nice, symmetrical and repeatable way. Okay. So I'll copy this a couple more times. There. Oh, we forgot the belt here. Okay, so what if I just do this? Yeah, that works. Okay, and then I'll put some lights here. All right, and that should be good. Okay, so that's ready to go, and then this will come across here. Actually, let's put that one there. We'll use that one for the rocket fuel. And then that's where we'll request the low density structures. Okay, so now we just need to feed this. I haven't put blue circuits on the bus yet, so let's do that. Okay, and let's extend this. All right. Maybe it would be better if I reversed all these belts and feed it from the other side, since these belts are actually closer to this side. Okay. So we are going to have a mixed, actually we could just do it, no, that actually works out well that way. Okay, so this is going to be a mixed belt. We'll split that in two. And we'll do the same with the blue circuits. Split them in two, I mean. Okay, there we go. All right, now the satellite needs, okay, I don't need rocket control units for the satellite. I do need rocket fuel, however. All right, so we'll do the rocket fuel next. Let's clear some room. See how we're doing on power. It's nighttime. Looks like the sun's coming out. Oh, by the way, I added 2 more steam power lines to give myself more power capacity. I really don't want to make more solar right now because I want to save all my resources for doing this rocket stuff. Speaking of that, let me double check red circuits. 37 machines making red circuits. I've only got 24. All right, so I need more red circuit production. And that means I'm going to have to move this. Okay, that should work. All right. Okay, I'm not going to queue up any more research right now. That way we will be using the rest of our resources for making the rocket instead of making science packs. Oh, yeah, more red circuits. Almost forgot. All right, so we needed 37 at least. I've got, each one of these is 12. I've got 24. So that'll give me 36. And I'll do one more. need to upgrade this belt to red. Let's go ahead and do that. Oops. Okay. All right. So that'll help on the red circuits. Which we can see are coming out rather slowly right now. Yeah, I've got a lot coming down here to the mall. So let's change our output priority. Okay, that one I want to keep. I'm consuming all my green circuits right now. Yeah, it would probably help if I stopped making purple science packs. Well, I'll let it go. Eventually the belt's going to fill up since we're not doing any research. Although that could be a long time. All right, so let's temporarily, I'm just going to remove that belt. Okay, so that way they'll stop producing more quickly and we'll stop using up so many red circuits. And I'll change my output priority on these. All right, that one I do want to keep because we do need red circuits for the blues. And it looks like now we're short on green circuits over there. Okay, I think it's getting better. Okay, well this is going to be slow no matter what we do, so. All right, so now I'm going to copy this part, and this will be for the rocket fuel. Okay, so we'll put that there. We'll change these recipes in a minute to rocket fuel. Okay, and the rocket fuel, as you can see, takes solid fuel and light oil. So actually, now that I think about it, let's pick that up. Because I think it'll be better just to make it over near the refinery. Now, how many machines do I need making solid fuel? Okay, I'm going to have to figure that out. That's not in my calculator. All right, so let's make that over. Let's make that over in the refinery, and we'll use bots to bring it over. Okay, so let's set this to pick up the low density structures, and we'll set this to pick up the rocket fuel. Okay, and then I'm going to need to save 50, the first 50 rocket fuel I'm going to save to make a satellite. Okay. All right, so I think I'm going to need Roboport coverage over here. Seems like we are not covered. So let's get that put into place. Let's see, we'll put one there. guess I'll do it myself. And then we'll put another one. I'll just put it right here. Okay. So I need 20 machines making rocket fuel. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll set that up over here. Okay, I'll do it. We'll do it right there. Okay, and then we'll put those into a provider chest. And we'll limit this to, I don't know, let's say 200. And that way we can use some of that rocket fuel for trains as well if we want to. Okay, and that's covered. That's in the network, so that's good. Okay, so let's change these recipes. I don't want to have to rotate every single one of these manually, so we'll just do it like that. That's a little bit easier. Okay, let's move that by one tile. I'm going to run a pipe up both sides. Okay, and now we're going to need lots of light oil. So let's put a pump right there to make sure we get plenty of pressure. I'm going to change the pump going to petroleum cracking, let's say 10,000. That way I'll accumulate more light oil that I can use. Petroleum's full. We could even make solid fuel from petroleum if we need to. But let's see here. All right, so we need 10 solid fuel times 20 machines. That's 200 solid fuel every 30 seconds. So 200 divided by 30. So that's 6.66666 solid fuel per second. But we do have a 0.75 crafting speed. So we need 5 solid fuel per second in order to keep this running, plus the light oil. Okay, so there's light oil. Okay, so to make 5 solid fuel per second, it's a 2-second crafting time. So I need what, 2.5 machines? Okay, yeah, I've got it. I've got 4 machines actually. All right, so let's do this. Let's turn this belt. Otherwise, the rocket fuel will end up mixing in with the solid. And I need to move this belt. It's too close. That has to go right there. I always do that. Okay, so I'm just hitting Control X here. That way it'll cut and then I can paste it down where I want it to go. Okay. All right. No, in this case, I'm gonna remove the limit on this pump. So that way I won't use all of the light oil. Because I want to keep some of the light oil to feed these machines. In fact, I'll make a couple more of these chemical plants and I'll see if I can feed. Yeah, we can get a couple more making solid fuel from petroleum. There. So I don't know if this is the right balance, but let's just see if we get all these machines running or not. Let's see how much solid fuel we're making per second. Well, we needed 5 per second, which is what, 300 a minute? And we're not doing that yet. Why is that? 2 seconds. Crafting speed of 1. 6, 8. Oh, I need 2 more. Okay. How are we doing on light oil? I think we're doing fine on light oil. So let's, I need 2 more. 5 a second needs 10 of these machines. There we go. And I do this so that it inserts it on the other side of the belt. Yeah, actually that doesn't matter. Okay, well the belt's not going to be completely balanced. No big deal. Okay. Are these all running? They are not, but they should be once we get enough solid fuel coming in here. So I've got 10 machines making solid fuel. Some from petroleum, some from oil. I suppose I should limit this tank once again, because I need to save petroleum for plastic and whatnot. All right, so yeah, so let's make this petroleum gas. Let's make that 10,000 as well. greater than. All right, so as long as I have more than 10,000, I'll make solid fuel with petroleum. Although now I wonder if I might be able to just make it all from light oil. Let's do that too. Oh, crud. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm making light oil fast enough to do this, but I guess we'll find out. Okay, but I do have nearly all the machines running now. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's fine. I'll just let it go like that, even though the belts aren't completely balanced. That's not a big problem. Okay. So we're making everything that we need now. All right, so let's do this. I'll let this go. So actually all of the rocket fuel will go first to make the rocket, and then we'll use the remainder to make the satellite after the rocket's built. Okay, so we're 14% complete. That means we've made 14 of these rocket parts, or probably a little bit less since we're getting the productivity boost. Right, so you can see when this builds, this is our productivity bonus. So when we make one rocket part, we get exactly 40% of the next one made. Right, so we'll see that when the next one is built, it'll go to 80, and then the next one after that, we'll push it over and we'll get an extra percentage point without having to actually create it. Right, there's 80, and then the next one will push us over plus another 20%. Let's watch that happen. Right, so there's 17%, 18%. Okay, so we're building all the rocket parts. We're slowly getting the rocket made. Again, this base is pretty much designed to build, to get research done and build a single rocket, not much more than that. So at this point, we don't really care if this is a little bit slow, as long as it gets done. But again, if you were going to continue to work on your base after this, you'd probably want to expand your production so that this could produce a little more quickly. So, for example, we're making 45 science a minute of all the other science packs. If you wanted 45 a minute of your rocket packs, let's see, you get 1,000 for every rocket divided by 45. So you would want to launch a rocket every 22.2 minutes, which I think we can probably get done here. Of course, we're not making any science packs now either, so that that makes it a little bit easier. But with some expansion of the base, you could keep this up indefinitely and do your infinite research at a fairly slow pace. But usually, if you're going to do that, then you'll just expand a lot so that you can do, like a rocket every minute or something like that. That's what a lot of people shoot for when they're doing a large base. They'll do at least a rocket a minute or 1,000 science packs a minute, and that results in a fairly large base. I've got several series where I've done that in various ways, so you can always check that out. But we'll get into that more in the next episode. For now, I'm going to let this run. In the next episode, I'll wait until we reach 100%, and the rocket is about ready to go. And then we'll collect the materials for the satellite. We'll put the satellite in there and launch it, and then we'll discuss what to do next. All right. Well, thanks again for watching. We'll see y'all soon. Bye-bye.